few questions to ask you about the welding class up to this point, and I wanted to get the opinion and feedback from a new welding student in the area. So tell the people, from you never experiencing welding before, never touching a welding gun, never learned anything about it on hand person, what type of experience and get from HogOn Welding, what you have learned up to this point, and how they benefit you and how you think it's going to benefit you and it can help someone else at the same time.
The first thing I did was watch your video on the most important step, which is your PPE equipment. Protecting yourself, protecting your eyes, your skin, as well as protecting your inner, not being, breathing gases and stuff. It also broke down what type of gases I would be around, how I would be using them, and what it could do. Okay. After watching that video, it was explained to me again in words by you. As you was teaching me how to put on my PPE equipment the right way for a welding job. I've never done this, so it was different from other jobs. You have to protect yourself. As far as my experience, like I said, I've never touched a gun. So first thing you did was you gave me an example. You showed me, what I will be doing, but the way you broke it down, you showed me, you let me know about my tip. What I'm supposed to be doing with my tip. You broke the gun down. With these certain pieces was what I'm supposed to be doing with how it does it. Then the second thing you did after that was the machine. This is how you set your machine. You like, hold on real quick, before I show you how to set the machine physically, I want you to come over here to this chart. And I'm gonna show you this chart. Now you see this right here? This is, you broke it down on what size wire, what size plate I will be using, and what I need to set the machine to as far as the heat and the gas.
So all that makes you feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
it gave you more information on what you was doing before you actually dived in.
Yeah. Because not only does it ensure your safety, you have knowledge of
what you're doing,
what you're doing, and what you're using, and how you're using it.
Exactly.
Okay, so after you gave me an example of putting the plate down on the bench here. After you put the plate down, you gave me an example. You did a bead yourself. After you did your bead yourself, you was like, okay, now it's gonna be your turn. But you was like, I want you to hold my hands. You know what I'm saying? So I held your hand. As I was holding your hand, you was like, put your hands exactly where mine is. The position that you had the gun. I paid attention to how you had that. So after, going over your hands or whatever, when you was like, it was my turn, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna hold that position like him. You was like, just go ahead. And I went on ahead and did it, and you was like, okay. Now this time when you do it, I'm gonna hold your hands. When you did that, it gave me it gave my wrist a certainty of, look, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it gave this hand a certainty of, this is where you're supposed to be. You ain't supposed to move this level at all. Because I felt myself moving up, I'm moving down too far. I felt you putting tension on my hand, like, that don't go.
Keep it ready. Keep it going.
You was pushing it back up.
Exactly.
Right there. But you kept your rotation on my hand too.
To kind of get you to feel motion. That way you kind of know what's going on.
The comfortability, like you get used to that pattern. You gotta develop a pattern.
Exactly.
Get used to it.
I love the word. That was a good way to say that. That's exactly what it is. It's a well pattern. You're finding your well pattern. So I love the word. Yeah, exactly.
Like the pattern. Like you gotta get used to it. Then like how you broke it down, you like, this is called a row of dimes. When you first said it, I was like, but then you like, look at it. When you have dimes standing up, all back to back with each other, when you knock them down, they laying down, you was like, what does it look like? A row of dimes.
And that's a perfect bead. A perfect bead is a roll of dimes.
So, it was like, in my head, I was like, man, dang, I can do this. I can do this. It just ain't as hard as it looks. I can do this. So, it is though. It is as hard as it looks. It
but did the technique, my technique
and how I so much easier.
The technique of how I taught you how to to gravitate to welding kind of made a whole lot easier for you to learn it. Like, man, okay. It's just like a few times, all of us are from different areas. Some of us are from rural areas and we all got different backgrounds. So I think we can use, even though you might be from a area where it was stealing, robbing, selling drugs, trapping, whatever you was doing, everybody grew up different ways. And sometimes we don't think that we can use that information from what we're doing in another field to help us be even greater in that.
And that's how a lot of pressure got took off me too.
I want you to explain that to him.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I still had nervousness and I had pressure. I was like, man, because I did that one and you was like, okay, that look good. You showing out like you almost get me. I was like, like I gotta get this. So you was like, look, you do good when you start off, but right when you get towards the middle, you start moving too fast and lifting up. He's like, look, man, you on the highway, okay? You got the work on you, you got the dope on you. You know what I'm saying? The strap, the folks gonna be on the highway. You doing the speed limit, you ain't trying to get there fast, you ain't trying to get there too slow, you just trying to get there.
Trying to maintain that speed.
You just trying to maintain that speed. You ain't trying to do nothing. You trying to make sure you get home with this. But you know what I'm saying, and avoid trouble. So, just coast. We gonna get there. So after he said that, he redid it again while we were welding. Like he just looked at me and told me that. Then the second time, while we were welding, he was like, see, now I'm holding his hands again. No, he's holding my hand.
Yes.
He's holding my hands and he's like, see? He's like, go ahead. He's like, see, look, we just riding. We just cruising. He's like, that's it. He was like, look, we ain't trying to get there too fast.
We're going to maintain that same speed the whole way till we get to the end of this play.
That's it.
And now we home.
That's it. So,
and it's crazy that I said that because, you was telling me your background, man, because I done been on the highway. You know what I mean? I lived this type of life. So I said, okay, let's relate this to you trying to get safe in that type of life using this same and even though this completely two different fields, you was able to blend it together that made you more comfortable, and then you laid down a bead that was dropping dimes. You like, oh, look at this.
I felt good after that because I was like, okay, I can do that. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I done did it plenty of times. But like you said, it's a whole different field. But the same energy that I put into making sure I get home with dope is the same energy I put making sure I get to the end of this bead. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I can do that. But then another thing that was very key was paying attention to not only the pattern that you showed me and how to keep it steady, but what you did to keep your bead a perfect pattern next to the next bead. As it like the picture was. Like
yes.
You did two of them back to back and they were like, and I was like, dang. And the thing was when you was rotating, I started looking. I actually moved myself over to the side at your angle. So as I'm looking
can really see
tip, I see you kissing the edge of the next bead. Not really just getting there, but kissing it. But you still going slow.
Exactly.
And you in your rotation. So that's why your roll down is so perfect every time. So I said, okay, what I have to master is keeping steady and keeping that kissing and rotation going. I said, but not focusing on one thing all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? My wrist and my hand should already be comfortable if I got it in that perfect position.
Exactly.
So all I'm doing is watching the tip and watching my kiss, and I'm just coasting, just keeping the same pattern. It's just as easy as that.
Like literally, once you seen it, you caught it though.
The difference between, I've been to college twice. The difference between your teaching and the next teaching, I feel like my overall experience was the patience that you had and how much you broke it down, how much hands-on you was, how much you paid attention and was able to, the knowledge that you was able to give me. Like you put yourself in my shoes and taught me in your way, but in a way that will break down to my lifestyle and stuff, like you could relate to it. It makes it a whole lot more easier that way.
Man, you know what? I appreciate that. And you know what? That's the big goal. Every student is going to be different. And coming from our culture from the ages of 12 to 24, we got different backgrounds. People got different things that they experience. And the goal is, I know I haven't been in everybody's shoes, but I can place myself in a person situation and say, okay, let's look at it from your point of view and see if I can project some knowledge in that can make it better to add you to this point of view. That way you can get a bigger perception of life, period, and say, man, I can do anything. And one thing I love about welding is it's not based on did you graduate from high school or not. It's not based on that you make straight A's or not in school. It doesn't mean none of that. But can you pass this test? Are you consistent? Can you drop this bead? And the more confidence you get, it can take you many places. So I know people making lawyer and doctor salaries welding.
Yeah.
They can't even read and write. You know what I'm saying? True. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I believe welding is a trade that could actually take us to a whole new different level. And it's something you can pass down to your kids. Because you was telling me you have several kids. So that's something that you can give them that they can use and fall back to. Say, okay, if we don't know nothing else, we know how to go get this bag to go take care of a bill. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Because as we live, we know we got bills to pay regardless. So the best thing that a person can help another brother with, aid and assist another brother with, is to give him something he can actually eat from continuously. My grandfather used to say, before we let you go, people, he used to say, hey, when I was hungry, I used to say, Granddaddy, give me some money. He said, all right, I'm going to give you $1 a day, but I'm going to teach you how to fish. And I'm like, man, what you mean? He said, I'm going to teach you how to make some money. So that way you can stop asking me for some money. And the first trade he taught me was how to cut hair. I walked around family with a little bag with my little clippers in it, getting $5, $3, $4 while I was winning back then. But I didn't have to ask him for nothing. But he taught me by using his head. I was using him as a crash dummy, and boy, I messed around and got good. And it was over with. So the one thing I can say is we can use these trades and go places, man. Once a person teach you how to fish, you never have to ask another man for something to eat. HogOn. Damn, you did good, bro.